Lynn, do you know if Leisha is planning on coming?
I know she had something on her calendar for 5 o'clock, so that may be running over. But I know it was virtual, so I haven't heard whether she was going to be able to make it or not.
Okay, thanks. Okay, well, we have quorum, so I'm going to get started and hopefully Connor or Alicia can jump in if they are able to. Good evening.
Recording in progress.
Good evening. Welcome to the Easton School Planning Committee meeting of Wednesday, June 21st, 2023. This meeting will be conducted remotely over Zoom. Attendance by committee members will be remote, and remote attendance shall count towards quorum. This meeting will be broadcast live and recorded on ECAT. First item on the agenda are the minutes of May 17th, 2023. I can't see anyone, so if anyone has any questions or comments, please just shut out. Okay, then I'll take a motion to approve the minutes of May 17th, 2023.
Helen, so moved.
Do I have a second?
Reed.
Second.
Great. Roll call vote. All right, Cabral is not here. Martin?
Yes.
Cedarbaum?
Yes.
Fulgenetti?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
Helen?
Yes.
Bamosi?
Bamosi's yes.
Sabrai?
Yes.
And Wiseman is yes. Thank you. Okay, next item is construction progress update. Walter?
Thank you very much. Right. So I think probably everyone's driven by, but happy to say that we are 99% complete on phase 2. The playgrounds are done, the resilient surfacing done, the sidewalks are done, the plantings are done, the field is planted, the sod is down, the infield mix is in, the batting cages are up. We are wrapping up very quickly here. So moving right along. This is a photo of the new batting cage at the softball field, as well as the pitcher's warm-up area and the removable outfield fence along with the foul poles. You can see the new roadway, the new paved parking spaces outside of those areas. This is on the left, you see the entrance to Bankston Street, which was the old paper road. On the right, you see the parking spaces just up above. This is the removable outfield fence. There is padding that goes on. That'll be installed next week. It's removable. So if this field is wanting to be used for something else at a certain point in time during the year, that fence on the left can come right out of the ground. The posts stay in the ground, or sorry, the stanchion mounts stay in the ground, but the posts and rails come out. Not a great photo, but this is all we have left. It's an update basically comparing last month to this month. You can see everything's been wrapped up. We'll jump through on a cash flow schedule update. Billed to date is $78.6 million. MSBA reimbursement, $30.8 million. And pending MSBA audit is 1.51 million. So at the end of June, we'll be putting in another MSBA or ProPay submission. Construction look ahead. We have a little bit of training left, some various items, some additional training on lighting. There's already been a couple trainings on lighting, but there's going to be another further one. We're wrapping up exterior caulking at the sidewalks. Punch list for phase 1 is wrapping up as of last week, this week, and then up till about July 3rd. We should be wrapped up with all the punch list work. Like we've talked about, we've been waiting for the summer to hit some of the more invasive work, but that is all ongoing. Phase 2, the playfield equipment. We do have a few materials that are coming in a little bit later. The canopies for the dugouts are coming in mid-July, so those will be here then. You'll notice as you drive by, or if you're over there, that the benches are not installed. That company is waiting to install the benches along with the canopies. They both go in the same area. landscape establishment. So the landscaper is still taking care of the fields right now. And then top coat pavement markings, although the striping's been done, the pavement markings in this picture that you see on the right need to be completed. There's all different types of hopscotch, Foursquare, Saturn, and planets all over the place. So it goes, 80 to 70 to 80% of the pavement gets top coat pavement markings there as well. Contingency update. As of last week, we have $1.2 million available in construction contingency. We have about $270,000 in current exposure, and we've expended about $2.2 million in construction contingency. We have current exposure of soft cost of $39,800. That is a installation for a control company to come in so that DPW can monitor the building as well and provide support for the schools. So that we're just waiting on that contract. That'll be moved in. It's already been authorized. And that just goes in with the $900,000 FF&E overages that we've already gone through. So available in soft cost is the $1.22 million as well. And then in bid savings, we have the wastewater treatment plant. Further update on that, but bid savings available $9.795 million. Couple of quick items. IT installation on the right, you see the network switches that were installed last week and into this week. Those have been wrapped up. I think there were a couple bugs going on, but those were wrapped up and repaired early this week. And then on the left, you see the final piece, which parts are coming in early July for the CAF 2 projector. That's the large CAF area projection throw screen. Update on wastewater treatment plant. We have been closed out of that project, happy to say. Although that is closed out through the Rogan company, we are wrapping up the HVAC unit installation, which did not exist at that building. We did order it through the contract with Freight Builders. They are tying that in. The gas has been piped. The electrical is ongoing over there. And then there's obviously some programming that'll need to take place, but that is all being coordinated and run through the contract through the school, not through the Rogan company. So wastewater treatment plant fully closed out, operational. I am going to go ahead and before I pass it back over to Jackie, so upcoming meetings, we do not have anything scheduled for this group at this point in time and where we stand with the construction project. PMA would recommend that we move to a monthly update and we'll provide that every month around the same time. So that third Wednesday of the month, I believe. And we'll run through where we are in the cash flow. We'll give you anything that's ongoing and then any issues. But we would recommend that we go on an as needed basis and PMA would provide monthly updates. So we've spoken with Jackie about that and she wanted me to let everyone know that we would have those monthly updates with all this information, but we didn't need to take up any more Wednesday evenings of this group unless they become absolutely critical, and would be sure to reach out weeks in advance to make sure if we did need a meeting that everyone was available. So that was everything PMA had. So I'm going to turn it back to Jackie because I know she had a couple items. I guess I could also take any questions at this point in time too, if anyone had any. So.
I just have one question about the fields. I know, well, this might be an unreliable narrator, but my son, when he came home from school, said that the playgrounds are now open season. Go for it. And I was like, I don't know if that's true, but okay, we'll go with it. I just wanted to get an update as to when the fields are going to be available for people to actually step on. I don't know if people are already doing it because I'm not sure how much monitoring there's going on now with school out, but I figured I'd ask the question here on a public forum as well.
Absolutely. So we have some good news. Well, right now the fields are being protected, so no one is on them. The only people that are on them are the contractors that are mowing them and the contractors that are irrigating them. The irrigation system is fully operational. It is on a temporary panel in the irrigation shed because the panel is delayed, so they got a temporary one to be able to use. So irrigation's working. Mowing by the contractor is ongoing. Fields are not in use. How the fields work on sod specifically. So the sod was put down. They work with the landscape architect to determine root depth. And once a certain root depth is hit, a provisional acceptance is given. And then the contractor owns a maintenance period of, I believe, 10 to 12 weeks for maintaining those fields. So that upper field on the leaching area is a little bit ahead of the softball fields. It was planted earlier and had, they did their repairs earlier. So they're going through that. We're working through a time frame of when that would be turned over. The anticipation is sometime, we have it in our calendar scheduled for town turnover for DPW sometime around July 26th. That would be about 10 to 12 weeks from the requested time. The field, the softball field itself would be a little bit further out. That being said, the landscape architect has stated that as long as these fields, they were planted within a good time frame, that as long as the root depths are met, they have a good growing season this fall, spring, and then sometime mid to late fall, those fields would be able to really be used without compromising a warranty. That being said, they are very little kids. You know, there may be some opportunity for a little bit earlier, but I don't think I would push it for damaging any of those roots. So sometime mid to late fall.
Awesome.
Can I ask a follow-up? And this is, I'm sure it's a quick answer. Is so what are we doing to ensure that people aren't going on those areas? Are they roped? Are they fenced off? Sorry, that's the answer I'm looking for. Thanks, Walter.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can see, trying to find a good picture, but you can't really see it. They are completely fenced off.
Okay.
That is the answer.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, no problem. So anywhere where there is not a fence, Brait has a temporary fence with sandbags up on them.
And Walter, are there little placards or signs indicating that people should not be on the fields for now?
They're not right now, Connor. They are completely fenced off though, and all of the gates are locked with bike pads. So you'd be jumping fences to get in.
Okay. And the first part of Patrick's question, the playgrounds themselves, those are ready to go, right?
You were good to go on the playgrounds. There are kids there every day.
Ton of kiddos having fun on them today.
Yes,
so
they are.
An awesome thing to see.
Yeah.
Playgrounds are really amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We have a gap week before the kids start their next summer extravaganza. So I was like, well, I'm going to ask just in case before I drove over there.
Yep, absolutely. There's punch list work going on in various spots, but the guys are being very safe. They're taping it off. They're cordoning it off with cones. They're watching the areas, and anytime they're not, we're on them. So.
Any other
Can
questions
I ask,
for Walter?
I have
Go ahead,
one
Jane.
final question, sorry. So is there any, at this point, you know, now that school is out, is there any work at all that's happening? All the work inside the building is completed. Everything is, where
Punch
are we?
list.
Yeah,
Punch list is happening.
Okay.
The only item that was not completed, and they are all they are all considered punch list items if they're not complete at the time of substantial completion. Is the orchid wall, and that's going up in the caf. So the graphics on the wood in the cafeteria, those are starting tomorrow. But that was the only item that really wasn't even attempted to be completed prior. They didn't want to have a lift in there with any students in there. So.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. We are down to under 100 items on the punch list as well. So on phase 1.
Is that it, Walter?
That's everything PMA has. So, yep.
Great, thank you. So just a quick update on the ribbon cutting ceremony. We had our subcommittee meet a couple of weeks ago. Hopefully we'll have another quick meeting after this meeting if everyone on the subcommittee is available. It is set for Sunday, August 20th. I want to talk to the subcommittee about the time a little bit, but it's rain or shine. We're gonna have some food trucks, some music, tours of the schools. It should be a really fun community day. So we're looking forward to that. And as the plans go forward, I'll make sure to email this committee to keep them updated on that. So as Walter had said, this is our last planned full committee meeting. So thank you, Walter, for agreeing to send out monthly emails to keep everyone updated. If anyone ever has any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. And then Walter, can you just go over again how the MSBA final reimbursement works for everyone?
Yep, absolutely. So once we hit our 95% reimbursement, which we are likely going to come up on here in the next 1 to 2 months, the MSBA will stop their reimbursement and hold it until their final payment. And the way that works is from substantial completion, and not phase 2, it's for the building because that's when things are based off of. There are some final deliverables that need to occur. We need to achieve our green building status. That package has not gone in yet because there's some commissioning items that are still being worked out. They needed to wait till summer to really flush them out of the building to address them. So those are still ongoing. But the lead submission needs to go in. That's a process that there's a submission, response, any more responses from the lead commissioner, and then some further response. So it's a little bit of a back and forth there. There's a 10-month warranty walk that is scheduled for 8/22 for the building. So those things need to happen. And then there's a package that goes to the MSBA to get on to the closeout. So as soon as we have all of the deliverables, and PMA has the checklist, it's about 10 to 15 items. We have 75% of them complete already. So we're just, as soon as we get them, we put them in the folder, we get them prepped for the MSBA. Once everything is met there, PMA will send off an email to the MSBA telling them that we are ready for closeout. They'll review it, they'll ask questions, they'll ask for more documents inevitably. And then once they have all those responses, they will then come up with a final budget packet, a final closeout package for the district for the final payment. It'll be reviewed by the OPM, us, and then with the district as well to confirm that that's what the final payment that was what was expected. And then you'd be scheduled for a board meeting. The board meeting would close out the project and the payment happens about 2 days after that. I don't want to get anyone's hopes up of that happening before the end of 2023, because on a project that everything was submitted to them in December of 2022, I'm sorry, or October of 2022, we have been pushed off to an August board on that project. And that was every single document being in their hands that early. They are incredibly overwhelmed with projects and they have a lot of work going on. So they have pushed items out. We will push and get it to them as soon as we can. But it is a holding pattern that we don't have. The only thing we can do is put everything in as quick as we can, and we will. But I don't want to get anyone's hope up of closing that out. By the end of the year, we will try. But the earliest we could get everything would be that lead date submission. Right now, we're probably looking about 8 to 10 weeks for a lead submission once it goes in. And then the 10-month warranty walk is August. So I would say the earliest we could get it in would be middle of September. And then we'll have the back and forth with the MSBA.
Does anyone have any questions on that process?
Yep.
Walter, could I just ask whoever's controlling PowerPoint to go back to the cash flow a bit? This is only partially related to the MSBA closeout, but that's only the last 5%. Not that it's not significant, but I have full confidence in PMA and everyone else that we're going to get that done. So looking at build to date and reimburse to date, so that's leaving us with what? For a district or a town share of the cost is closer to the high 40s, is that right? In the millions?
Yep, about 40 at the complete end would be around the 44.6. I do expect that, Connor, to be lower based on where we are. So we can certainly review that and give you a better update. That is where we had expended the cash flow from the last time we did a full cash flow. Right. It does include some of the savings, but it does not include all of the savings at this point.
Okay, so to make sure
Lower
I'm
than that.
correct, so you think we're going to be in the low 40s ish.
Correct.
So I never like to miss an opportunity to point out 78 meetings in to this committee's work that when we went to the voters with this in 2019, the estimate, including what was authorized by town meeting, was that the local cost would be 59 million. So that's a pretty exceptional positive divergence from what we had budgeted. So I wanted to say thanks to PMA and Bray and everyone involved, because that's it's a really positive thing, and that all nets out to a lower 30-year impact on the tax rate. So it's really, really great stuff.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, then before we adjourn, I just wanted to thank you all for your time and commitment to this committee. Your input and ideas have been invaluable, and it's really been a privilege to work with you all. Being part of this committee, being part of this project has been one of the best experiences I've had during my 8 years on school committee. It's just been so much fun to walk through the school building and learn all I have learned from all of you. I appreciate you all allowing me to serve as chair following Jane's leadership. So I just want to thank you all again. I want to wish you a very happy summer, and we will definitely keep you updated on what is going forward. And I look forward to seeing you all at the ribbon cutting ceremony. So I will take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Second, Martin.
Roll call vote. Martin,
Yes.
Cedarbaum,
Yes.
Janetti,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Patrick.
A sad yes.
Yes. Vamosi,
Vamosi, and just reiterating, thank you to everybody.
Sobrai,
Yes.
Wiseman, yes. David and Caroline, thank you for joining us tonight. Lynn, thank you for all of your work on this. Joe, thank you for showing up all the time. Is there anyone else I've missed that is on here tonight? Oh, hi, Chris. Chris is here. Thank you, Chris and Walter. And if the subcommittee for ribbon cutting is available, I sent out a Zoom link for 6 o'clock. Connor, I don't know if you're available. Okay. So I'll see you guys at 6, and everyone else have a wonderful night. Thank you again so much.
Record.